Hi. God wants me to make several videos today. The first one he wants me to make is the evidence of God according to God. So when I was in college, I had a professor who was an atheist, very proud atheist. I loved him. But he wanted us to argue with him what is the evidence of God. So I went home over break and I talked to my dad, who was a pastor, and he said the evidence of God was the fact that we have a conscience. And I could almost grasp that. And there's times in my life where I have understood it, but I just knew there had to be better evidence. So God has been talking to me over the past year, and we've really been working through how he works because he wants his message to get out there. It's time, he says. But these are the three ways that you can be sure God exists. The first one is that all people have sought him. No human culture has ever existed who did not attempt to worship him. And we can definitely see this in the past. We can tell people pretty much lived their entire lives for whatever they thought God was. And this has been consistent since the beginning. Anthropologists can confirm this. There's never been a culture who did not attempt to worship something. Now, I know some of you are going to intellectualize this. And one reason I had trouble believing in the Bible was because it didn't make sense that God would put all these people on the earth and then only choose a tiny percentage of them to give his message to. You don't have to worry about that. I'll make a video in the future called The Seven Spirits of God. It's in Revelations that God had poured seven spirits upon the entire earth. So don't get too caught up in Christianity at this point. Christianity is the only way to God, but God has been present over the earth since the beginning of time. So when we break this down, that everybody believes in God in some way, we have several categories. We have the religious who find it very easy to believe. They tend to have more of God's light in them, so they recognize God because they're from him. Now, if you don't believe or can't believe at the minute, but you really aren't opposed to it, you just can't, that's something else. That's God just working in his own timing. Don't fret about that. If you want to be religious, God will lead you there. The second category we have is just the average Joe. They don't believe, but they don't not believe. Some of them just don't care. That would be someone whose soul is just a general mix of light and dark. A lot of these people do worship God. They just don't call it God. We have a lot of people that love nature. They're very gentle. Those people are actually worshiping God in their own way. He's okay with that, but they do need to come to Christ. A lot of these people call themselves spiritual, but not religious. They can't necessarily believe in the Bible, but they do really have a strong feeling that God is present. Then we have what's going on in the world right now, which is the communism woke movement. The woke movement really is communism, and it is attempting to turn the government into God. And then we're all supposed to worship the government. History's shown us this is a bad, bad, bad idea. But their intentions are good. They're wanting to create something larger than themselves that is ultimately good, that then has an impact on people on the ground. Then we have the group of people that actually follow Satan. Like, they're attracted to that because that's where they come from. If you believe in Satan, you have to believe in God. Everything has an opposite. I could say a lot of people believe in God but don't believe in Satan. But if you believe in Satan, it is a necessity that you do believe in God. So even those people believe in God, they just choose not to follow him. And then you have the atheists, which God thinks are the best indicator that he exists. And an atheist feels a strong compulsion to tell everybody, and they feel an urgency to let everyone know that God doesn't exist. But by talking about it so much, it's essentially proof that he exists. If I don't believe in fairies, I'm not going to spend my days trying to argue why fairies don't exist. It doesn't make rational sense. I'm just going to say, okay, fairies don't exist, and that's about all there is to it. There are arguments that could go a little bit further, but if you look at atheists over time, you will see a compulsion in them. And that compulsion apparently comes from Satan, although some atheists do turn to the Lord, so God knew that they were from him all along. He had a purpose for them. Okay, the second reason you can be confident that God exists is because science cannot get to the bottom of anything. For example, they know that lightning is electricity, but they have no idea what makes it happen. Scientists understand the idea of gravity, but they have no idea how it happens. We don't know what black holes are. God's shown me a lot of visions of black holes. They're useful to him. We can't understand space. We can't even find out where it ends. And then there's something about certain molecules like water and sugar that scientists, it shouldn't be able to happen, but it does. And I guess there's a lot of things on Earth, a lot of scientific mysteries that when you see them as a whole, the fact that science can never get to the bottom of anything is proof that God exists. Also, UFOs. We're going to see a lot of crazy things in the skies. That is God manipulating light. They're not going to get to the bottom of it. And then the third way that God put on earth to let us know he exists is that at our worst moments, we all cry out for him. He said, if someone doesn't believe this is true, they have not had a moment bad enough. We all inherently know he is there. And then he kept having the phrase, oh my God, go through my head. And he said, look at even people that don't believe in me. They're constantly saying, oh my God, oh my God. And he said that's not just a cultural trait. It's consistent in all cultures over the world, all over the world. And then as I was thinking about that, he said, wait, there's more. So many of our expletives, or when we cry out or are shocked by something, are actually spiritual language. So he said, holy crap, holy, what the hell, damn, people get damned, Jesus Christ. So we're all kind of hardwired. God has inserted his presence all over the world in ways people cannot even begin to imagine that he's actually responsible for. But he does keep himself alive on the earth through a lot of these exclamations that we make. Anyway, I hope that helps some people that might be struggling with if God really does exist. I will tell you that I was blessed to be taken to heaven. And when I was there, the thing I remember most clearly is kind of looking down at my earthly self and screaming, Kimberly, don't forget, this is real. This is real. What you experience on earth is not real. This is real. God is real and he's here. Don't forget it. And it was a beautiful moment that just how really is. And anyway, I hope this gave you some confidence. Bless you.